This video is brought to you by Sim Racing Centre. Today, we're going to be showing you the fastest way around the Silverstone circuit for the British Grand Prix. Such an iconic, fast-flowing circuit, which is always a joy to drive. But what is the fastest way around the track? Well, let's watch the Hotlap sent over by Sim Racing Centre right now. Keeping it in 8th gear as you go through turn 1 and turn 2, completely flat out, and then onto the brakes for turn 3. Dropping it down to 4th gear, cutting the apex. Don't go over the sausage curve, then down into 3rd for the loop. Easy on the power, short shifting up through the gears so you don't lose the back end, and then all the way down the Wellington straight. DRS open, and of course a great overtaking opportunity come race day. Get the car over to the right, brake hard, and get the gears down to 5th, and then slight dab on the brakes as you head in towards Luffield as well. Drop it down to 4th gear, maximize the exit off of this corner because we've got another long flat out section all the way down the old start finish straight. Get the car over to the left hand side through here, little lift off, not too much though, as you send it through Copse Corner, keeping it in 8th gear, and then through Maggots and Beckett's, the left, then the right, then the left again, dropping it down to 7th. No need to brake, but then brake for the last part of Beckett's. Use all of the Chapel curve on the left hand side, and then back up through the gears, getting the DRS open and heading down in towards Stowe. On the brakes where the curbing starts, drop it down to 6th gear, cut the apex as much as you can, don't extend too far wide out there, otherwise you will be penalised. Onto the brakes as you send it into the Vale chicane, getting the car down to 4th gear, short shifting into 5th, easy on power, and then round the final corner, and that is a lap around the Silverstone circuit. Too fast for you? Well, luckily enough, we're going to do it again, and this time we're going to break it down. No need to break down the first couple of corners though, as you can see, completely flat out. Foot to the floor, no lifting, keeping it in 8th gear as well. And then right here is when you want to brake for turn 3. So just about where the curbing starts to begin. Hard on the brakes, and you're going to be dropping it down into 4th gear for the right-hander off turn 3. As you can see, using all the curb on the right, and then a little dab of brakes around here. Notice the car's not getting all the way over to the right to maximize the exit, otherwise you are going to lose time. Dropping into 3rd momentarily before getting back up into 4th, short shifting in order to not lose the back end. DRS open, and then heading down the Wellington straight. Car all the way over, as you can see, using all the curb on the right-hand side. Do not get it on the grass, otherwise you will lock up. But a dab of the brakes there after the 50-meter board. And as you can see, already turning whilst braking. So you don't want to go full brake, dropping it down to 5th gear. And then this is where you're going to be slightly dabbing the brakes again as you head through Luffield, dropping it down into 4th. And then sort of V-shape the corner, go for a second apex, back onto the throttle, use all the curb on the exit as well, and then rise through the gears once again. Now flat out, all the way down in towards Copse Corner, using the left, dropping down actually into 7th gear just to get the turning and de-accelerate your car just enough to get through the corner. Then Maggots and Beckett's through the left and the right, dropping it down to 7th through the left there, no need to brake. And then this is where you want to brake from 7th gear, just a little dab, not too much brake, otherwise you're going to lock up and it's going to exceed and miss the apex through this corner. So dropping it down to 6th, use all the curb, and then really early on the throttle. It's going to feel like you're going to get on the throttle too early and get off into the grass on the left-hand side, but it is going to work out for you. The car does just stick. Braking here now in towards Stowe after the 50-meter board on the curbing from 8th gear, and you want to be dropping it down into 6th. Some really fast, high-speed corners around the Silverstone circuit. In 6th, using all the curb on the inside, all the exit on the outside, and then get the car back over to the right, braking after the 100-meter board just before the curbing begins, and you're going to be dropping the car down into 4th gear for this corner. It's going to be tempting to go down into 3rd. Avoid it though, because you want to be in some really low revs in order to not lose the back end. Short shifting up into 5th, and then round the final corner, and that is a lap around Silverstone. Before we break down the setup though and show you how you can go even faster, a little word on our sponsors, Sim Racing Centre. Sim Racing Centre offers the best and latest F1 22 league racing setups to make sure your car is running as fast as it can. Combined with the race preparations they sell, which shows tyre, data, the best strategy, and a lot more to ensure you will slap the competition and be on top of your game. With these products, all you need to do is focus on your driving. If that's something you struggle with though, get a one-to-one coaching session with esports or esport academy drivers. Sim Racing Center also offers race engineers like you have seen on the League Racing series that I run on this channel, who will help you live during the race with your best strategy. Now, this is a company that I use for all of my setups. When it comes to setting up the car, I'm absolutely clueless. So these guys point me in the right direction to go as fast as I possibly can. And if you want to stay up to date with the best setups, make sure you use the code Hayden at checkout for 10% off. Here we go then, the setup that is going to make you faster than everybody out on track. And let's break it down. Starting off with the aerodynamics, we're going 16 on the front, 14 on the rear. Now, it might be tempting to go for high aeros. There's a lot of corners here, a lot of high-speed corners around this track, but there's a lot of sections where you are foot to the floor and absolutely flat out. So it's good to maximize the straight line speed and give you a good opportunity to overtake your rivals on race day. Moving over to the transmission. Now, this is something slightly different to what we've seen before. 59% on the differential, 51% on the off-throttle differential. So still staying within that 60-50, but slightly changing it a little bit to 59-51 on the transmission. Suspension geometry, this is pretty much same as usual. Right, left for the camber, all the way to the right. For the toe, all the way to the left. Suspension now, and we're going to go for 2 on the front suspension, 3 on the rear suspension, 3 on the front anti-roll bar, 5 on the rear anti-roll bar, and then 3 on the front ride height and 2 on the rear ride height. As for brakes, it's exactly the same as what it usually is, 100% and 50%. And then finally, onto the tyres. This is the same as usual as well, 23.8 and 23.0 on the rears. Right, that is the setup then. It's going to make you quicker than all of your friends. Big thank you to today's sponsors, Sim Racing Center, for sponsoring the video, giving us the Hotlap and the setup. And remember, if you want to make an order, use the code Hayden for 10% off at checkout. If you enjoy more content like this, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.